And we are live. So, welcome to this Trouble Tuesday. It is 4 a.m. East African time. And honestly, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. So, let's do this. Hopefully, this will be a 2 hour stream. And to anyone and everyone who will join, I hope you'll have a good time. The people who will watch after the fact, hope you'll give it a like. You will share it if you think it is important. And feel free to clip and use it in your videos. I'm not going to copyright strike anyone. So this is the Trouble Tuesday podcast. This is episode 1. My name is Wamwega. So let's do a bit of just a bit of introduction before we get into the kind of shenanigans I want to talk about this early in the morning. So I've been wondering about social media and the fact that they are out here actually so what are they doing? They are penalizing anyone who uses certain words, and these words are interesting, like the R word, the RAPE word. Then you have the P word, the PEDO word, right? And then we have the termination word, the baby termination word. Okay, the one that starts with AB, OR, and a T somewhere, right? And I've been wondering about that for a minute. I mean, wouldn't we want people to talk about this thing openly? And seeing that YouTube has this thing where when you upload content, you have to choose if it is, targeting kids or not. So as long as it is not targeting kids, I would assume that you will be free to use these words. Why? Because this is the only way people get to know about these things. But no, YouTube, Facebook, and I don't know about X, but I know for a minute Twitter also had the same issue where you could not use these words. And my question still stands, right? My question still stands. Why? Why can't we use these words on these platforms? I am one of those people that you can call conspiracy theorists. And it's okay. I accept the title. I accept the label. It's cool. Okay. Tell me why we cannot use those words here. The only way that you get to suppress information is by making sure that people don't use words or don't spread information about that particular issue, that particular topic. And the fact that we can't call a spade is very suspicious for me. Okay, it's very suspicious for me. Why can't I use that word, right? And I get if you're using the word, in kind of a derogatory term, or if you're calling somebody that word, without proof. And we have laws for that, right? We have laws like defamation laws and all that, and libel laws. But just outright, not banning the word, because if it was actually banned, then I'm very sure YouTube or Alphabet, is Google still under Alphabet? Whatever parent company owns Google, which owns YouTube, could be sued. But they don't actually ban the word. They just make sure that the algorithm picks up on the word and suppresses that video. That is why people who are monetized go out of their way to find, suggestive words. That's why we have the R word. That's why we have the baby termination. That's why we have kid diddlers. You have to go and find words which people will associate with whatever you're talking about without actually naming the behavior, right? So I'm part of this. Within the streets, there are times I work with civil society organizations, and in one of our anti-R word programs, we say that the best way to deal with R is to name the behavior. Name a person's behavior. Somebody is touching you inappropriately, name that behavior and say where they are touching you. They're touching you in the ass, say, you stop touching me in the ass, right? If you're touching you in the titties, you say, stop touching me on the titties. That is the only way that people can come in and defend you, because people know what is going on. But if you're just saying, don't touch me, people are wondering, what is this touching going on? Until you name the behavior, you say exactly where you are being touched. Say exactly where you are being touched. And you say, stop touching me in the ass. Stop touching me in the titties. Stop touching me in the face. So that when somebody comes in to intervene, they will ask, you've heard them telling you not to touch them in the ass. Why are you touching them in the ass? But if somebody just says, you know what, stop touching me, if somebody comes and saying, why are you touching this person? The person who is doing the touching can claim, hey, I'm not touching anyone. But now, if you say, stop touching me in the ass, and you say it loud enough, and people hear it, the person who is doing that will be embarrassed, right? But social media, specifically YouTube, does not want us to name that behavior, to name that or to use that word. Why? I will go as far as say they are encouraging the behavior. Yeah, I will go as far as saying that they are encouraging the behavior. Why can't we say the R word? Why can't we say the baby termination word? Why can't we say the pedo word? Why? Because for whatever reason, and I think it is a nefarious reason, YouTube wants to encourage that behavior. And they will stand and say, no, we are not encouraging that behavior. The fact that they do not outright ban those words means that they have deniability, right? They have deniability. They can say, no. Nobody is banning those words. Have you seen the words being banned? Can you show me proof of that word being banned? Is there any press release or any documentation that shows that we are banning that word? But in our interactions on this platform, we know, because there is no way one content creator, two content creators, most content creators, unless these are pages which are specifically either for education purposes or for advocacy purposes. They intentionally use, especially the baby terminate, right? Because it is in their messaging. That is their core message. And they don't care whether they get demonetized or not. And most of those pages are not monetized. Most of them are supported by, non-profits or advocacy groups or whatever. They support those pages. So that page is specifically for information, for passing information. It's not for making money. But a content creator who is on this page or on this website, and this is their either main or their second source of income, they will not want to mess up the bag by using these words, because it's going to mess with their pocket. So that's why they come up with all these words to to stand in place. For them, as long as people understand what the conversation is, then they can play with the AI. the AI will not catch up on whatever it is that they are talking about, because I'm sure that they have those words. Like the AI will be listening to the stream, and if it comes across these words, then it's going to limit the spread of that, the reach of the video, and that one will mess with somebody's paper. That one will mess with somebody's income. So these not-for-profits are the only ones who are using these words, because their page is for education and for information, and they don't care whether they are getting demonetized or whether they find ways of, you know, um, creating that reach, right? Because they can pay for Google Ads, and they can always, share within their networks, and people will come and watch that video. And some of them will use them in their trainings, in their advocacy. So there will always be traffic within those pages, right? But why? Why? Anyway, so that was just something which I was thinking about, and my brain keeps cannot wrap my head around it. And someone might come and try to tell me that, you know, don't talk about those words because kids might be watching. Well, if I've already indicated that my video is not meant for kids, then anyone's child who comes to watch my video, that's on them and their parents. And who do we really want to get this information if not the children? I understand you have to give age appropriate information, but don't you want young children to know that there are people out here who are dangerous, who will violate them? Don't we want kids to know? Don't we want kids to know that, especially young girls, especially those ones who are getting into teenagers, those who are getting into puberty? Don't we want them to know that there is something known as risky sexual behavior, right? And if they engage in risky sexual behavior, they will get pregnant, or they might get pregnant. And pregnancy will be like the best outcome out of that behavior. The worst outcome will be they get themselves with HIV, they get infected, or they get herpes, which keeps on going and coming back. Right? Because this, some shit is permanent. Some shit you're going to have it, like, for as long as you're alive, you're going to have that shit. Don't you want them to know? And I know this is information parents are supposed to be giving their kids. The kids are not supposed to be getting this information on social media. But you cannot restrict my speech, which is directed to adults, because a child might find the video. It is, it's a parent's responsibility to make sure their child is not getting on some of these sites on social media and on YouTube. I know there are weird pages here and weird channels here. So if your child is getting unrestricted onto YouTube, they are going to come across some of these channels. Anyway, so my conspiracy brain was just wondering why that is the case. Anyway, let's get into this. So now we are headed to the new year. And so this one is saying spending one last time with him because he won't be moving with me to 2025 because the only thing he's good at is wasting my time. Well, this is funny. I'm very sure it's supposed to be a joke. But there are a lot of people who think this way. A lot of women specifically who think this way, right? Like, you know what? I've been giving this guy this thing to hit for the last so many months. So let me give it to him one last time before I move on. And if the guy is into her, of course, it's going to hurt, right? When it ends. But assuming he's not, and this is where let's look at what I commented on this post. So this is me. And they said 2025 tutatafuta mwingine wa kuwestia time. We have a lot of time to waste. Na hatuwezi waste peke yetu. So for those people who don't speak Swahili or whatever version of language this is that I was typing here, I'm saying that 2025, we are going to look for another one to waste their time because we have a lot of time to waste and we cannot waste our time alone. And I got a reply. And this lady said, ongea kivyako, sema wewe, not we. So for the non-English speakers, she's saying, don't say we, say you. And of course, me being the troll I am, I said, mimi na ule anakuestia time. So me and whoever is wasting your time. So she was like, mbona unadanganyia wengine? Nimekuona but ni vizuri umesema imekutoka. So she's like, why am I lying on behalf of others? So let's come back to this post. Some women, not all women, some women think that they can punish a guy by giving them too much pussy. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to say this before the stream or at the beginning of the stream. There might be swear words. I am assuming that this stream will be listened to by adults. And if there is a child who's listening to this stream, warn your parents. Anyway, so they think that it is a punishment to give a guy too much vagina, right? So I'm going to punish you by giving you too much vagina. And that's what probably some of the ladies who have this mentality think about. So I'm going to spend my time with this guy who is wasting my time before I move on. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if you know I'm wasting your time, you should already be out, gone, because you care for your time. So that means you also want to waste time. So we are the two of us are wasting our time, and it's okay. It's okay. But don't come here pretending that, you are going to move on from this guy who's wasting your time. How are you with him anyway? Why? There is a reason why you are with him, right? I mean, there is a reason why you think that spending time with a guy who is wasting your time is a good idea. And that is the same mentality that will get you with him wasting more of your time in 2025. And then in 2026, heading 2026, or even in 2025, you will be complaining or posting some of this shit and accusing the guy of wasting your time. Nobody can waste your time. Nobody is in charge of your time. You are in charge of your time. I cannot waste your time. A man cannot waste your time. A woman cannot waste your time. You waste your time. You and only you can waste your time. Anyway, let's get into something more serious. Something more serious. And this is for the men. We start light and then we get into some serious shit, right? A lot of men are lost. A lot of young men, especially, and even older men are lost. Why? Because it seems like they cannot find information, or they will not go out and find information, or they cannot take input and process the information out here. There are a lot of men out here giving men information on social media. A lot of men giving men quality information on social media. I am not one of those men. I cannot claim to be one of those men because for me, I will respond, I will talk, I will give my input. But there are a lot of serious men, more serious than myself out here, who are posting every other day, giving very good, very valid, very valuable information. And so let's go to one of them. One of these people is called Jacob Elliott. So let's go and see what um, he talks about fair weather wives. And this is for the married men and for the young men who want to get married. So let's read and see if we can. Let's read. Fair Weather Wives by Jacob Elliott. Nobody has it all, even God. COVID-19 proved to most men that most women they married were with them not because of emotional attachment or commitment or their marriage vows, but because of what they were getting from the men, right? So a man does not really mind, or let me just say, most men, let me just say, most men who have a brain between their, in their heads, uh, they they don't care whether you're with them because you're emotionally attached to them or you are with them because you made a commitment. Because the whole point is you are with them, right? Are you with me because you're emotionally attached to me, or are you with me because you made a commitment to me? That is the marriage vows. But here he's saying that most men during COVID-19 realize that their women, their wives, are not with them because of either of the two, but they are with them because of what they were getting from the men. They stayed married as long as the weather was fair, but couldn't stand the rain. As soon as it started raining, they vamoosed, they disappeared. When these men lost their jobs or their business crumbled in the wake of the pandemic, the women dissolved their marriages. As humans, we are complex creatures and no single human can meet all of our needs. We have spiritual needs, physical needs, economic, social, self actualization needs, and so on. This applies to marriage. It's very true. I I cringe these days when I see this trend where people are shaming or demonizing people. Why are you staying because of the kids? Why are you staying because it's complex? You cannot come and tell somebody that they should find a specific thing valuable in their marriage. They decide what is valuable in their marriage. I decide what is valuable in my marriage. If what is valuable in my marriage is my wife, that's what is valuable in my marriage. If what is valuable in my marriage is my kids, that is what is valuable in my marriage. Right? You cannot come and tell me what to find valuable in my marriage. But of course, there are those people who, and these are the people Jacob Elliott is talking about, the women who put value in the materialistic, what the man provides in a marriage. So when that goes, because that's a fickle thing. Person can get sick, person can get fired, a person can get disabled. Shit happens, and wealth disappears. Or somebody makes a mistake, an honest mistake, a deliberate mistake, or somebody gets, fixed, and you end up in jail. You end up losing everything. You end up behind bars. Shit happens. So in marriage, what is important to you? Many women have 80% of their needs met in their marriage, but because of the lulu and entitlement from feminist woke ideology, they leave the 80% to go after the 20, the 20%. And you know, I've had a lot of discussions about the emotionality of women and how that emotionality makes them illogical. And I have been watching hundreds, if not thousands, of videos on YouTube of women who regret divorcing their husbands. Oh, he was a great man, he was a good father, but he was not spending time with me. You know, the kind of stories you listen to. I am a stay at home mom. My husband provided everything. We had a good life. We didn't lack anything, but he wasn't spending enough time with me. And I'd be like, what in the stupid. F- yeah, it's, I don't know whether these people went to school, because if they went to school, you are a stay at home mom, meaning that guy has to provide 100% of the financial support to the family. Life is hard, life is expensive. You get to sit your ass at home and take care of the kids and do whatever. The guy has to go and bring home bread and make sure you're good. And you say with your own mouth that you are good. He was providing. You are comfortable. So you want this life, but you also want him to spend time with you. You do note that nobody goes collecting money in the streets, right? Picking bills, picking money, picking up notes. You have to put in the work. You have to work. You get paid because of what you put in. So if this money I'm bringing, this money which is making your life comfortable, you think I just anyway. These women, they leave their men, they divorce, they get like in the West where they have these stupid laws, they get half within a year or two. They have run through the money, and now they are on social media crying about how hard life is, about how they have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week to make ends meet, how they are close to being evicted, how they are. Just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Okay. You had a good thing. You had a man who was providing for you. You and the kids. You had a good life. But then you left this 80% to go after the 20%, only to realize that now you are responsible for 100% of yourself. This is why women file for divorce 70 to 80% of the time. They keep they keep going after this man in their head. Well, feminist chick cracks feminist chick crack tells them that they can have it all, but nobody has it all. Even God didn't have it all. He had to sacrifice his only begotten son. To underscore this point, uh, is this review of Unplugged from PW Karanja. The most important thing for me is is not the illustration of female nature from his experience, but the incredible opportunities available to men when they apply themselves. Guys, you should never forget your ability to turn your life around, even when you are at the very bottom. Very true. Most of us men start at the bottom, and when life throws you a curveball and you find yourself at the bottom, the only way to go is up, right? The only way to go is up. So, men, know that there are fair weather wives out here. Know your wife. Know what kind of a wife you have. And if this is the kind of wife you chose, then, as a man, know your enemy and act accordingly. Protect yourself. If you have a woman who will stick with you, then lucky you. If you have a woman who will betray you, then you know what? Life's a bitch, right? The people who betray you are the people who are closest to you. A stranger cannot betray you because a stranger does not know you. So, man, know your wife. Know what kind of a wife you have and behave accordingly. Ah, yeah. So, women will scream from the rooftops how hard they have it, but they have options. If life gets hard for a woman, she can always get married. And if she is a woman who is smart, a woman who has taken time to find out what men want. The problem with women is women want to force us to want what they want. No, 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 no. You women, you said you want the 666. You want a 6 foot man with a 6 foot dick who has a six-figure salary or salary. You have this, you want the 666. It's okay. Get your 666. But also for us men, we want what we want. The problem with women is women want us to want what they want, not what we want. So she can come with all these expectations and all this nonsense. But the moment a man says, you know what, I want this kind of women or this kind of a woman, all the other types of women lose their shit. You do realize that in a group, women like they have this thing where they walk in threes. And in threes, there will be the ugly one. And the ugly one does not know she's ugly because the beautiful ones within the group do not tell her that she's ugly. They gaslight her. So the ugly one actually thinks she's the flyest. Then they have the fat one, right? Then they have the fat one. So they have the ugly one, they have the fat one, and then they have the prima donna. Now, like now for a man, for me to get to that woman I want there, I have to go through the ugly one, then the fat one to get to what I want. We don't want that shit. We don't have time to do that shit. Okay? Make it easy for us to access you. We are not coming there. We are not fighting dragons for you. I mean, this is not some Disney shit. We are not fighting dragons for you. We are not going out on a quest for you. We are not going out looking for, trying out feet because you left a glass slip at the bash. No, 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 no. I have no time to go through all the hoops. And today, being what society is, if I approach you and you say no, or if a man approaches you, I'm using myself as an example. If I approach you and you say no, I move on. That's what men do these days. We don't want to catch this nonsense of, you know what, um, you looked at me funny. And if you are working, if you are employed, you're spending 8 to 10 hours at the workplace. You have no time to go out and socialize, right? Oh, the only way you find people is within your network at the workplace. The people you're spending 8 to 10 hours daily, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. You have no time. When you get out of work, you are tired. You have no time to go. And, you know, the streets are not so good these days. The well is poisoned. But at the workplace, you cannot even flirt these days. You cannot even look at a woman for more than 30 seconds. Find yourself in at HR offices for harassment. And then the same women who are taking men to HR for harassment, for looking at them for more than 30 seconds, are still the same women you'll find on social media crying. that they cannot find any men. Well, woman, you're taking men to HR for looking at you. No man is going to talk to you. So you're going to buy a dog and die alone. And then you're going to complain about you being alone, how men, real men, the moment a woman opens her mouth and uses the term real men, that one is for the streets. That one is definitely for the streets. That is a term that is used for by people who want to shame men to accept their nonsense. Let's pivot a little bit and let's talk about uh, I'm not going to read this story. Uh, uh, I'm, I'm not going to read this story. I'm just going to show you the headline, and it is online. So this is by the Daily Nation or Nation Digital. Like I said, I'm not going to read the story. Daughters in the dark: the life-shattering cost of missing fathers. Well, I am sure that the story there is profound and deep. But my question is, why are they missing fathers? Why? We have men. It's not like you walk out and there are no men. It's not right. It's not like you can just get just go anywhere randomly and stand in the streets and see how many men are walking around. It's not like men are not there. But why exactly are you women, are you mothers raising children without fathers? Why? That is what I want to talk about. Why? And there is old this drum which has been beaten. I think it's about to rupture. Oh, men. These men don't want responsibility. This man, once I got pregnant, he vamoosed. This man, he does not want to take care of this child. This man. When are we going to stop and talk about the mothers? When are we going to stop and shut up for a minute and talk about the mothers? This is the problem. Women, and like Jacob Elliott had said, there are women out here who are with men because the men are providing something because of the provision bit. As long as the man is making the bag, I am with you. As soon as you start having problems with your bag, I am gone. And these women, as long as the time they are with these men who are making the bag, what do? They start chucking out kids, right? They start chucking out kids. And then when the man gets into financial difficulties, the woman disappears. And you know what happens when the woman wants to leave? The kids suddenly become hers. Before she wanted to leave, the kids were yours, both of you. And most often, the kids were yours specifically as the man. Utasikia mtoto wako, your daughter, your son. But as soon as there is some problems, my daughter, my son, my kids. I have to go with my kids. I am moving away with my kids. These are my kids. I'm not going to leave you with my kids. So the woman goes with the kids. And then now you have problems. Why? Because now she's raising kids without the father. Father is not in the picture. And then we now start having this idiotic, um, let me not call them idiotic, because they are actually talking about something which is real. Start having these headlines. Start having these headlines. And let's see if you are going to be uh, issues of a present father. Well, they are your kids, right? Human, you say that the kids are yours. And then we have these women who will now make it a point of frustrating the father's access to the children. Now, that access is pegged on some monetary costs. You have to pay this for you to see your kids. You have to pay this for you to see your kids. You have to pay this for you to see your kids. And you know what? Some men will take that BS. Some men will be out there crying, "Oh, access to my kids. I want to see my kids." And the woman will always take advantage of that. So the man will be squeezed dry. The man, the woman left because the man got into financial difficulties. And what are the terms the woman sets for the man to see his kids? Finance. And fortunately or unfortunately, once you raise your child, whether it's a daughter or a son, without a father present, guess what happens? The likelihood of them, the likelihood of your son abandoning his wife increases. The likelihood of your daughter becoming a single mother increases. So you did something thinking that you're punishing the man, to only realize that you're actually punishing your own children. But do women care? No. They want what they want. They want the man to suffer. Who cares if my kids suffer too? Who cares? It's not about them, it's about me. He did this to me. He did this to me. Right? How dare he get fired? How dare his business crumble? How dare he make a mistake? How dare he go to jail? How dare he? How dare he do this to me? The gall on this man, the audacity on this man. How dare he do this to me? And so they do this to their own kids. So what happens? Your daughter grows up with issues, daddy issues. And you know the world is going to meet men out here, men who are not her father. And she's going out here looking for a father figure, and she is going to find fathers out here. And they are going to use and abuse her. Why? Because of you. But will the woman take accountability for that? No, accountability is kryptonite to women. She will always blame the man. It's your fault. And something pisses me off. And this is the idea that a man should fight for his kids. No, a parent should never fight the other parent for access for their children. If I am a shitty husband, okay, I accept I am a shitty husband. What does that have to do with my ability to father my kids? If I am a shitty husband and you leave me because I'm a shitty husband, cool. But why are you restricting access to my kids? So that means that you did not just leave me because I'm a shitty husband. You probably left me because those kids are not even mine. I'm going to throw this even out here. You are not even sure that I'm the father of those kids. That's why you have the confidence. Because after all, sijui kama wewe ni baba yao. Are there shitty men out here? Yes. But who is choosing all these shitty women? These shitty men? You women. You will be surprised. Uh, most men, most husbands, most fathers are taking care of their kids. If your husband or your baby daddy is not taking care of your kids, it's because that's the kind of man he is. And you are not the only victim. And more often than not, you knew what type of a man he was before you laid with him and made babies with him. But you thought you were special, right? Yeah, you thought you were special. You thought you would change him. He cannot do that to me. Me? How can he do that to me? He cannot. I am special. Yeah, I know that he has multiple baby mamas out there, and I know he's not taking care of his kids, but I am different. No, he cannot dare do that to me. So let's do this. I will be pregnant for him, and you will see. You will see that he is different. And then here you are crying. All the red flags, blue flags, green flags, all type of colors flags. There were all type of colors of flags. But were you listening? Nobody could tell you shit. So messed up. Taking alcohol at 5 a.m. in the morning. I need Jesus. Oh, where was I? Yes. Why are daughters missing their fathers? That's what. They are shitty men. You know those shitty men. You've been with these shitty men. People told you about these shitty men. But you are different, right? Your pussy is different. All the links to the links to all these stories in the description, so you can go and read the article. Talking about mothers. You know, a lot of time, all you hear these toxic fathers, these men who are, abandoning their kids. How can a man abandon his kids? Those are the people we hear about most of the time. But let's see. Let's talk about this one. This one is special. This one is special. Whatever a man can do, a woman can do better, right? So Millicent Adhiambo. Let's see if you can see. Yeah. Millicent Adhiambo left her children 11 years ago. Akawapea baby daddy mwenye hawakuwa wanaelewana poa. So she gave her children to their father because they were not in good terms. And she went to Nairobi to do work. which she says that it is the cause of her being away from her kids for 11 years. Right now, she's saying that she wants her kids back because she is their mother, but their dad does not want to hear that nonsense. Okay. So, um, I don't know how true this story is, but if it is true, well, what can I say? She wants her kids back. Kids she abandoned for 11 years. Why? Because she's the mother. This is the idiocy of women. So when she was giving these kids to their father, they were not her kids, they were his kids. But now that she wants them back, now they are her kids. You know, women get to do this shit. Women get to do this shit because we let them do this shit. Because this woman will go to the children's services or to the courts. And more often than not, the court will be on her side. She is the mother of the kids, right? She wasn't the mother for 11 years, but now she's the mother of the kids. Like there is the motherhood just came back. It had gone for a journey of 11 years. It had gone to find itself. The motherhood had just gone to find itself. Okay, she gave birth to these kids, and then the motherhood left her. And then because of the type of woman she is, the loving, caring woman she is, she gave her kids to the baby daddy and disappeared for 11 years and waited and waited and waited. You know, she did not want to give up the kids. No, it's just that the motherhood had disappeared. What do you do when motherhood disappears? You wait for it to come back. And so she waited for 11 years for the motherhood to come back. And as soon as the motherhood came back, she came back for her kids. Oh, such a wonderful woman. Such a loving mother. I mean, it was the fault of the motherhood. It left, but now it's back. So I want my kids back because the motherhood is back. I want to take care of my kids. My kids need their mother. The kids need their mother. The motherhood now is back. I want my kids. I abandoned my kids for 11 years. I abandoned my kids for 11 years. But now I want my kids back. You know, this is the kind of shit we see with men. There was a story the other day about a man who disappeared for 40 years. Some Kisi dude who disappeared for 40 years. And he came back. 40 years is a long, long time. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, as a man, it's your fault. You can't be sticking your dick into some things. I know what you're sticking your dick into. I mean, I know for men, we really don't care that much. I mean, it is what it is. I will stick where I will stick it. But these are the repercussions of you not having dick discipline. At least try. At least pretend to have some dick discipline. Because you're going to be crying all over social media. Huh? Talking about women. See, we've already seen a woman who abandoned her kids for 11 years. But when you go to the court system, the family court system, especially the court systems in the West and specifically in America, some fucked up shit happens there. Fathers are not seen as human beings. Oh, let's read this story posted on the Fatherhood Movement Facebook page. There's a man with his child. Look at his smile. Look at the father smile. The guy is like, God damn, I have my child back. That's what he says. Many people have no idea why changes need to be made in the family court system. This picture was taken 14 years ago today. I had gone 204 days without seeing my son, who had been moved without my knowledge. After locating him and forcing a DNA test so I could get access to him, someone was able to make the claim that since I had never had children, the first visit needs to be supervised. This is some type of fucked up shit. A man going to see his child, a man who fought to see his child, has to be supervised when he's seeing the child that he has fought for 204 days to see. A man who has gone 204 days without seeing the fruits of his loins and has moved heaven and earth to see his child is told that he has to be supervised to see the child that he has been fighting to see. What sort of fucking idiocy is this? Huh? Let's continue. Let me clarify. Her father, parents, he doesn't visit. Also, why a double standard? Every firstborn leaves the hospital with a parent who has never had children of their own. This is very true. I remember when I went to pick my wife from hospital with our firstborn. The nurses were very happy, giving us this child to go away with. We've never been parents. It's strange. It's the first time we are doing this. But nobody said that they are going to supervise us with our child. But then this is Africa, where we respect parents. Not like the West, where they think men are evil. And despite this man moving heaven and earth to see his child, he is still considered a threat to the child because he is male. Show me where women also go through the same shit. And then we talk about systemic. What is this thing that these idiotic women talk about? These feminists. Systemic what? Systemic privilege of men. Show me the systemic privilege. You know, every time a feminist talks about systemic privilege, just tell them to hold on a fucking minute and ask them, do women have systemic privilege today? So women, this feminist will be talking about some privilege this mystery dude had 100 years ago. This mystery guy, this mystery man who lived 150 years ago, 1,000 years ago, the privilege they had. But they will not look at the privilege these women have today. Not to mention the hundreds of hours I had volunteered to take care of foster children, special needs children, and children of my friends over the years. Notice the setting. A social worker's office, I was told there was no need to bring anything because they would have everything there. Thank God I brought toys and books. I was told no need to bring diapers or food. My son showed up in a wet diaper with no diapers in the diaper bag. These fucking idiots. They will take the high road. No, 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 no. We are taking care of everything. And this happens a million times with women. I have seen it over and over again. When a married woman is breaking up with her husband, she'll be going, no, 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 no. I don't need your help. Okay? I can do it. I will take care of these are my kids. Watoto wangu hawezi nishinda. Okay? Watoto wangu hawezi nishinda. Okay? I can work. Sijakufa. Sijakatwa mikono. I can work. Give them a month or two. The kids don't have enough food. They are living in some dump. The woman is out here complaining about how you abandoned them. But, you could do it, you fucking idiot. So these people tells this guy, don't bring anything. And then the kid shows up with wet diapers. The other day, there was this guy who took out a CEO of some insurance company. I'm not suggesting anything. It's just a random thought that came to my head. Anyway, thank God I brought some of my own. Could you imagine trying to bond with a child who is uncomfortable from a wet diaper during your 1 hour visit? Too many children are losing out in a relationship with a loving parent by a system that allows a custodial parent to game the system. I tell this story not to attack anyone, but because this story needs to be told to raise awareness. Let's attack. I am sick of men tucking in their balls. No, let's attack. And this reminds me of a small story, just some tangent. So in Kenya, currently we are developing a male engagement and inclusion strategy, a way to engage men on empowering men and boys and making sure that men and boys are good. And every time we sit down for a meeting, somebody will always say, guys, we are not attacking the feminist organizations. I'm like, fuck, let's attack them. Why? What are we afraid of? And then it'll be like, guys, this thing will not be accepted by the feminist organizations because they will think that we are coming in to take their funding away and we are coming in to change the narrative, because that's specifically what we are here to do, to change the narrative about men and boys, because we've been demonized for a minute now. Continuing, we are not here to, they will feel a certain kind of way. And of course, they will respond in different ways. Some of them will attack us. Let us just make sure that we tell them we are not here for the attack. And I'm sitting there like, shit, when are we going? When are we going to war? When are we going to war? This fight needs to be had. This fight needs to be had. I don't know why we have to be apologetic and say, this story is not to attack anyone. If your wife was the one who was gaming the system, you attack her. You call her out for her BS and you tell it like it is. Shit. Fortunately, many parents are speaking out and people are becoming aware, but more needs to be done. It's been 14 years now, and I will continue to work with so many great friends in the shared parenting community to make sure one day no child is denied a healthy relationship from a loving parent. But you know what? As soon as we are not attacking as long as you're not attacking anyone, nothing will change. Men need to go to war. Do you know that today? Because men needs to stop bitching. Let me go on to men. I love you guys. Some hard love. In the group I was telling you about male engagement. Like right now we have issues of men being denied their rights, men, like the latest. I am Kenyan, and a few months back we had these protests and riots about the finance bill, and many young men were killed, many were arrested, and there has been a trend of women, of girlfriends killing their boyfriends, so women killing men. And we are talking about how do we respond to that. And there was a meeting where somebody said that men need to get angry, and I asked, is are we being goaded? Is it goaded? Are we goaded into getting angry? Because an angry man is a destructive man, right? You cannot tell a man to be angry and then try to control how he expresses that anger. Are we being goaded into becoming angry? And then, of course, that anger will manifest into distraction. And then the feminists will say, see, these men, we told you, you see this engagement strategy they are building, this is what will bring. I asked, are you sure that it is not a trick? We are being told to be angry, that women got angry and that's why they got the rights they got. Yeah, an angry woman is not going to do shit. She's going to scream, she's going to protest, she's going to do this, she's going to, like, women are not going to do shit. Specific women will do shit to specific men, but collectively as women, they are not going to do shit to men as a collective. And one man said in that group, said that you're talking about press conferences. That's the most bitch thing we can do. Men is about action. So what action are we taking to remedy this thing? Because men are losing their lives at the hands of women. So do we go out and do a press conference and bitch and moan, or do we do something about it? This is what I'm going to tell American men. Stop bitching. Stop moaning. Stop bitching. It's a law. Laws get changed all the fucking time. Stop bitching. Organize, get men on board, and there are enough women who will support this. I know there are enough women who will support this. So just get men together. Just say, you know what? We want this family law changed. And it will be changed. So stop bitching. Alright? Talk about it, create awareness. But what are you going to do after the fact? Uh, the stream is supposed to go all the way to 6 p.m. Oh, 6 a.m. Shit. If we get to 5:30, let's see. What is up? God damn. You can share your comments. I know this is going to be some long ass trip. Long ass stream. Seeing people joining and disappearing. Well, it is what it is. Now we have a lot of stupid men on social media who have a platform and who are just here to express their
And we said the other day that
stupidity.
a man who has multiple women has no soulmate.
What man talks about a soulmate? if not an idiot, a weak man. And look at him. You can just sit there and talk about a soulmate, you fucking idiot. Soulmate, that's the most bitch thing I've ever heard a man talk about. Any man who start talking about a soulmate is a fucking bitch. I have tried not to cuss out, but ooh, this kind of people who talk like this piss me off. What the fuck is a soulmate? Can't even define a fucking soulmate. A polygamous man is a lonely man. You know, this is like saying Elon Musk is poor because he has a lot of money. So because he has a lot of money, he is poor. Or this man who eats a lot is hungry. So you see a man always eating food, and then you see a man who eats a lot, mm, a man who is, when you eat, you become full, right? So a well-ate man is a hungry man. So a man who has eaten a lot of food is hungry. No, he's not hungry. He was hungry, then he ate food. Now he's no longer hungry. Or a man with many cars is carless. Or a man with many houses is homeless. See, these are the kind of men you are going out there and having kids with, women. These are the kind of men you're going out there having kids with and then coming here to complain that you don't know what happened because you had kids with these sort of idiots. I can't even continue listening to this man. The moment a man starts talking about a soulmate, he doesn't need to open his mouth anymore. Especially when you're talking about a relationship, he's not supposed to open his fucking mouth anymore. He just shut his fucking mouth and disappear. But the problem is, the society gives these kind of idiots a platform and a voice. And that's how they are misleading young men. So a young man will be out here looking for a fucking soulmate, not understanding that a marriage is not meant for fucking soulmates. There are no soulmates. Soulmates is a fucking myth. This is something, this is a humanistic belief. Men are supposed to be logical. When a woman believes in a soulmate, you understand because she's being emotional. She has to be, she is, she's being emotional, and it's okay for women to be emotional. That is their nature. But when a man starts talking about soulmates, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's a fucking idiot. You don't need to listen to him anymore about relationship. The moment he opens his mouth and says, "A man, is soulmate," the only thing you need, the only time you talk about a soulmate when talking about relationship is when pointing out how the idea is fucking retarded. Shit. How many F bombs have I dropped there? Uh, this sort of nonsense pisses me off. This pisses me off. I'm just imagining how big a platform this ignoramus has and how many people listen to him. And let's assume that no man listens to him because he knows he's a fucking idiot. But how many women will listen to him? How many women will believe his idiocy? Now, how many of those women will cause problems for their men because they listened to this fucking retard? I'm only asking questions. Such kind of men are not supposed to be given a platform, but they're being given a platform because they are kissing the ass of women. That's the only reason why this fucking idiot has a platform. This pandering. Anyway, maybe it's his business strategy. If he's winning, if he's making money out of it, look, if it's a hustle, it's a hustle. If this is what is feeding his family, I mean, I can't hate him for his hustle, but at the same time, I have to call him out for his retarded beliefs. We are not listening to any more of that nonsense. No, we're not doing that. Well, let's talk about this Murang guy. I look. She's 19 years. She's 19. She's an adult. So, missing Moranga schoolgirl calls family to say she's happily married. Waithira, who is aged 19, from Moranga, she went missing a week ago, but she has reached out to her family and said, I am good, I'm safe. So, Veronica, Waithira's family has gone to social media to ask them to help them find her. But she called, so she was found, which is good. She's married, she's 19, she's an adult. However, she did not give them her location, but assured them that she was okay. So, what are my thoughts on this? My thoughts are she's an adult. As an adult, she can get married. There's nothing you can do about it as a family. But if you go to the cops, if you pay them enough money, they can cause problems for their husband. But the woman is married. She's a woman. She's married. Yeah, she's in school, but she's an adult. So she's an adult. She can make a decision about what she wants to do with herself and her life. I like that she called the family when she found out that, they were looking for her and said, you know what, I'm good. I'm married. So what should the family do? Respect her decision. If it's a bad decision, she's going to find out soon enough. There is nothing you can say to a woman, especially a young woman who has learned the sweetness of the dick, the pleasure of the dick. There is no convincing them that they are making a mistake. It's like trying to convince a person who is in love that they are making a mistake. No. Wasted efforts. Wasted efforts. It's easier for you to get milk out of a stone than convince a person who is in love that they are making a mistake. So what do? You know they are making a mistake. You tell them they are making a mistake. They tell you to fuck off. What do? Fuck the hell off. You wait. You remember this time when this woman, this Lillian, who was dating this governor from Machakos, Alfred Mutua. When she left Alfred and went to this Lunje guy, this musician Giuliani, it caused a scandal. People were like, yeah, she's following her heart. Women, of course. To find a woman who uses her brain, I'm sorry for women. my women, even who listen to me, I'm sorry for that, but you have to be honest. I mean, it is hard to find logical women out here. Anyway, so I said, you know what? People were like, especially women were celebrating her. Oh, good for you, woman. You found your love. Sijui nini nini. And then we found out that actually Giuliani was a simp because now we'll see him, I don't know, behaving in a weird kind of, and he's a lunje. I mean, lunje men are like, should be like Kisi men. That's why I like my cute bros. My cute bros are like, unless you're from Nyeri, but my cute bros are like, we don't give an F. We've been voted the most unromantic men in Kenya for so long. I don't even know why people vote anymore. Why do you vote anymore? But apparently, lately, Kisii men are winning. Not like they are the most toxic. I mean, where did Kikuyu men? We are failing. We were the most toxic like a few years ago. Why are we letting Kisii? But they are Bantu, so it's in the family. Kisii men, it's your time. Win. We are coming back to the top. Anyway, a woman when she wants to get married, she will get married. You cannot tell her shit. So you let her make a mistake. You just inform her. You just tell her what mistake she's making. You know what? You are married now. You've not completed your education. That will mess you up. Now, you can negotiate. Smart parents or smart people will be like, okay, you're an adult. You want to get married. Cool. You can even have a sitting with a husband. Like, cool. Aina shida. Get married. But could you kindly complete your studies, your high school, get your certificate, your Form 4 certificate. I mean, right? Just get your Form 4 certificate. If she's 19, she's probably in Form 3 or Form 4. So that's like maximum 2 years, unless she's an idiot and she's in Form 2 at 19. But at 19, Form 2, yeah. I would get married too. Anyway, no problem. Talk to the husband. It's like, look, she's an adult. You guys are married. Cool. But could she go to school? You're not saying that she can come live with us. She can live with you. She's married. She's your wife. But can she maliza her education? Can she maliza her Form 4 education? Cool. So she completes her studies. She's still married, so that when she learns that it was a mistake up on Bele, she has a KCSE certificate, of course. But then probably she'll be a mother of a few kids. Which, but if you're smart, if you're a smart parent, you can negotiate. Look, my daughter, I'm not refusing for you to be married, but there are these contraceptives that you can use, and we have this one for 5 years. And then you can even talk to the man. Look, young man, you're married, you're building yourself up. So would you give yourself like 5, 6, 7 years to build yourself up before you start a family? The man says, cool. The woman says, okay. She gets into using the contraceptive for 5 years. So, because more often than not, the relationship will crumble in the first 2 years. So she's going to school, but she's married, but she's under contraceptive. So that means she's not getting kids. So if she realizes that this was a messed up situation, this was a mistake, she is not a single mother. But people will not think that way. No, they will not. They will not think that way. They just start throwing tantrums, and of course send police after the guy, and then the chick is angry at the parents for the arrest of her husband and all that shit. Anyway, let's look at this probably a skit. I don't trust people who for some reason have a camera recording, and it's not like some random guy who found an argument going on and decided to record. It's like record, then action, let's start. But I'm very sure we can get a few whatever it is I wanted to say. Anyway, no, let's start this. We share first. God damn, it's cold. Anyway, let's see.
With your baby daddy so bad, but what you don't realize is if something happens to him, your children will be without a father.
He abused me.
Abuse? You hit him over the head with a blender and him throwing you across the room isn't abuse. That's called self-defense. I don't understand why you want to be the victim so bad. I don't understand why you have to paint him in such a negative light for us to be together and for me to be a part of your children's lives. I feel like if we were to break up, if we had a child together, that you do the same thing to me.
I'm going to do that to you. I love you.
Yeah, just like you loved him until you didn't get what you wanted. Then he became an abuser, a narcissist, and a gaslighter.
Well, I cannot disagree. It's obvious. It's obviously staged, and we can see that.
You want me to be into it with your baby daddy so?
We can see, we can understand what the information is. It's like, as a man, as the current man, if you decide to get yourself into a situation where you're dating a woman with kids, I almost went retarded using that statement. If you decide to date a woman with kids, I mean, why would you? Anyway, for the sake of this clip, for the sake of reacting to this clip, if you as a man decide to date a woman with kids or to marry a woman with kids, I highly, 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 highly advise against it. But if you're stupid enough to do it, this is how you take care of it. You defend the man who came before you. Because, especially when you know what happened, because women have this thing where they will run with a narrative for a minute. They will run for a minute with a narrative for a minute, and then they will have this time when they'll tell the truth. Oh, I hit him, and that's why he hit me back. Men, it is okay for men to defend themselves. Man, it's okay for you to defend yourself. If a woman raises her hand against you, it's okay for you to defend yourself. Hit back. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. If she hits you first, yeah, hit back. It's a failure of parents. Parents should teach their children not to raise their hands against others. But if their parent did not teach her, her parents did not teach her not to raise her hands against other people, and especially against men, then it's up to you to administer the lesson. Okay? She hits you, hit back. You're defending yourself. Anyway, as a man, as the current man who is coming into and I'm supposed to talk about this situation, like give it a positive spin, but the foundation of it is wrong. As a man, you're not supposed to go into a relationship, a long-term relationship with a woman who really has kids. So that's the problem I'm having. Anyway, if you find out that the woman you're with who has kids with another man and that she behaved badly towards that man and is trying to paint him as an abuser, you have to stand on business and tell this woman, no, you're wrong. You started this. He was defending himself. You are the one who did this. Do not paint him like that, because the way you are pointing him, you will paint me when I leave. And it is when I leave, not if, when, because it's only a matter of time. So women, please stick with the man you have kids with, because the man who is coming after, yeah, he will leave. It's a matter of time. He will. I'm tired, sleepy. I've been having, I don't know, sleep issues. It's, when old age comes, comes with its own problems. The other day I had this project I was working on, and I was tired and I needed to boost my energy, because I still had this thing where I had to finish it before I went to sleep. So like at around 10 p.m. I bought some energy drink, and it boosted my energy and I completed the project, but I could not sleep. And since then I've been having problems, headaches. And then over the weekend I was trying to set this dough, but my hands were slippery because I just come out of doing laundry. My hands were slippery. So I held on to this dough, and as I was pulling it, my hand slipped, and I did a good one on my eye. I gave myself a black eye. So that probably is the cause of my headaches. I've been having headaches since then for, I don't know, 2 days straight. Yeah. Now let's see what we are left with. Yeah, final one. The sexualization of men. Let's do this. And then I go freshen up, start my day. It's already 5:30 in the morning, East African time. So like I said, links to the original content will be in the description. Go there, interact with the information without my commentary. Follow those people who've posted, because all of them are on Facebook. Follow those people, give them some love. Alright, cool. So let's talk about the Desexualizing Men by Jacob Elliott. Facebook page unplugged. Gentlemen, those of you who watched my recent appearance on Dr. Kingori's platform must have caught the segment where a lady attempted to extract 47K from a fella who was getting no clear benefit in return. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. 47K? And I'm not clapping your cheeks? Fuck no. So this creator, Kerry Ruth Kagiri, later asked whether the value of a woman was only sex. No, it's not only sex, but as a man, I want sex. So whatever else you're bringing, sex comes first. Look, women, and I know this is the point Jacob Elliott will expound on. let's say you are responding to a job advert, and the job advert is software engineer. So what do? You apply software engineer, but what else do you add in your CV? Other skills. I also play football. I also do team building. I am also good with. I'm also a very good chess player, right? Other skills, and having been involved in recruitment for a few people here and there, I know that sometimes it is not your primary qualification that gets you the job. It's the additional. We understand that you need to have additional skills because, for the sake of argument, hypothetical, if you have 3 candidates who are qualified in terms of the academia, the kind of education you want. You wanted a master's, a person who has a master's, uh, let's say software in what application? I don't know. Mimi nilienda university kusoma theater. Yeah, I wasted money. Yeah, so let's say software development. So they have a software in whatever masters in whatever course that is, that gives them the ability to do software development. And you have 3 candidates who have that. And you do the interview. And all of them score, like the final score is like what, 95%. So you have 3 candidates who are the best out of the best. How do you choose one out of them? Like, how do you choose? Start looking at what other skills do they have. So when if you ask a man for money, what he wants sex, but that does not mean that is the only value you bring. Okay, but that's the primary value you bring: sex. For a man, you want money, give me sex. Is that the only thing I want from you? If it is yes, it is yes. That's the only thing I need from you. I want you to give me sex. You want 47K from me? You see, women are like, I want your friendship, but I also want 47K. No. That's not how men operate. We want sex. Friendship can come or friendship can disappear. Fuck friendship. Anyway, continuing. Now, this is sign language. Those people who don't know sign language, it means shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. That's what we call sign language. Shame, insults, guilt. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. And we must confront this subject head on. Attempts have been made to desexualize men and convert them to warm, fuzzy compliant teddy bears doing the bidding of women as they get nothing in return except a pat on the head. No. Yeah. I understand. This is what women want. Why? Because they want to use men. Look, women, I don't know if you know this. I know you know this. But you women are evil. You know this and you pretend not to know this. The value you've placed on your vagina is the same value or a similar value we place on our money. So when you ask us for our money, it's like a man asking for your vagina. When a woman asks a man for money, it's like a man asking a woman for a vagina. And the question any woman will ask is, why should I give you my vagina? Exactly. Why should I give you my money? So when a woman exchanges her vagina for money, the man is getting perceived equal value for the money he's giving. And If you ask me for 47K, then I will calculate the amount of vagina access that is equivalent to 47,000 Kenya shillings. So don't think that you giving me pussy one time is equivalent to 47,000 K. That is inflating the value of vagina. The value of vagina is, well, the street value of vagina is like 200 bob. That is like ile ya mtaani. And if you go to vagina with class, starts at something like 2K. And if you go to like a wholesome experience, because I've been in these streets and I've seen they advertise on social media. If you don't know, you should know they advertise on social media. And the value goes all the way to 20K, depending on additional services. The hosting, there'll be like a full date, like you come, I cook for you, you have drinks, and it's expensive drinks. So you are in her place, and she's giving like the full service. So it's the 10K and the 20K. So if you're asking me for 47K, you have to give equivalent value back. Anyway, every time a man has a platonic relationship with a woman, it's always the man paying and the woman enjoying the benefits, which is very unfair. It is exploitative. It is an exploitative relationship, and men should reject such relationships. You'll spend hours playing emotional tampon as she emotes her frustration and anxieties. You'll pay for dates. You will be expected to bring boyfriend energy when she's on a fix, when her mechanic is taking advantage of her, when she has a dubious fundraiser, when another man is molesting her, when her mom is sick, and so on. Like, fuck. Men are doing all this. Shit. And for what, my G? For the hope that one day, for the hope to one day dig her water guts. Look. Ask for an ROI, like straight on. Hey, I want 47K. What am I getting in return? Oh, it's a loan. Okay. Let's talk about the terms of repayment. 18% interest rate. And you have to pay me within 2 months. No. I will pay you within 6 months. No. Then interest goes to 30%. But you are taking advantage of me. You know, I need this money. I am. Okay. What are the interest rates you want? You know, I am ready to pay you 10% interest rate. Cool. Then I need to clap them cheeks. What? Yeah. Not once. You know, I am giving you, like, I've reduced my percentage by 20%. I was asking for 30%. You want a 10%. You need to give something that covers the 20%. Yeah. And it's not like that ya kukuja kulala kama mtu amekufa. No. You have to be into it. For her approval, like, fuck, how many men just are just dying to get a woman's approval? That's a stupid man. If you spell out your wants, you'll be shamed for being shallow, treating women like sex objects, blah blah blah. Oh, but you're treating me like an ATM. I'm allowed to treat you like a sex object. Don't fall for it. Don't be a sucker rooted in scarcity. If she wants a girlfriend, let her get girlfriend to listen to her BS. If she wants a boyfriend, a bodyguard, let her hire one. If she wants a sponsor or a credit lender, let her get one. Don't be an ATM just because you've been placed in the friend zone. Very true. There are a lot of microfinance institutions giving people money. If she wants money, money is available. She just needs to go to wananchi.com or whatever the fuck that is. Ah, the biological imperative of man is to spread his seed. Very true. Very, very, very true. This means sex is important to men. Very important. Don't be ashamed of this. Embrace your sexuality. You are a man. Heck, everything you see around, planes, skyscrapers, cars, were invented because of sex. Man wanted to impress some bitch, and he invented a plane. Man wanted to impress some woman, he built some tall building. That's okay. She doesn't even have to play that sugarcoat it. Don't fall for the gimmicks, manipulation, and shaming. Don't hang around waiting for red to turn green. Don't stay with a woman who doesn't find you attractive and wants instead to exploit you as she feeds on hope. As she feeds you hope. God damn, alcohol has gone to my brain. Do not negotiate desire. You don't need to be kind or generous for a woman to find you attractive. That's beta male BS. That kind of chick crack makes men end up broke and depressed. Terminate that friendship. Do not entertain such a woman. Guard your meat all the times. Yeah. Meat for money. If you want money, I'm giving you meat. Your meat is your money, energy, attention, and time. Anyone who shames you for wanting sex, yet she unashamed about wanting your money is an extortionist. Stay Taliban. Woo! Pantambua. Relationships is where value is transacted. If you are getting nothing in exchange, dissolve it. God damn it. Very true. No, don't let a woman gaslight you. Like, if you want sex, you want sex. Are you giving it to me? No, I'm not giving it to you. Oh, okay. Then I'm not giving you my 47K. That's it. I'm not giving you my money. Oh, you're a misogynist. You're a sexist. You just want to use my body. Yeah, so? I mean, men just needs to own it. Especially when they come with these accusations. You just want me for sex. Yeah, and what's wrong with that? Oh, you only see me as a sex object. Okay. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You don't need to be friends with me. You can dissolve the friendship. What's the problem? I decide what value you have for me. You don't decide your value for me. I decide what value I see in you. It's like, at the workplace. You can't just go and start telling people how. Come on, soldier. So that guy who opens the door and closes the door when people come in. You can't just be going around and wanting people to view you like the CEO. The value you have there is for you to keep that fucking door secure. That's it. And if you want to be more valuable, you quit that job, you go apply for a different job. So this thing where women want to be more valuable in this platonic relationship, quote unquote, but wants to get boyfriend treatment from me, from a man who is not their boyfriend, but they want to get boyfriend treatment. But when the man expects girlfriend feedback and girlfriend treatment, he is labeled. It's time men started accepting these labels. You are misogynist. Okay. You are sexist. Okay. You just want sex. Okay. So, are you giving it or not? Simple. If we are platonic friends, then we are platonic friends. You're not asking me for money, I'm not giving you money. I'm not asking you for vagina, you're not giving me vagina. I'm not texting you, I'm not calling you. We are platonic friends. When we meet, we talk. We I don't know what we'll be talking about, but let's assume we have something to talk about. So we'll talk about whatever that thing is. And then everybody goes their own way. You don't call me to come help you carry, I don't know what, your groceries. You don't tell me to come because, your electricity is fucked up. You call an electrician. You don't call me to come, I don't know, your door is broken. No, you call a handyman. You pay them. They sort you out. Right? Why? Good morning. Have a nice day. I hope this has been valuable to you. If it has been, you can subscribe or not. All the same to me. Have a good day.